What's Gucci, guys? Big Red back at it again with a squad near endgame situation. But before I start the slight tips and tricks, I want you to hear what Queen K9 Casey has to say.
I don't want to take that guys from me. Oh.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little quick commentary by Queen K9 Casey herself. But here are some top tips and tricks for squad games that will help you out, help you and your squad out. Matter of fact, communicating is huge, especially near end game. Communicating, flanking, maneuvering, telling your team what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and being precise as possible is the most helpful thing you could do, especially near end game. Here we took out a team in the beginning, had very good communication, what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. Took out that team. We kind of pinched them as well. So we moved in as they were getting shot by the other team. The other team was pretty far away. So we were able to loot, get some goods, and also stay frosty for another team incoming. One thing we do really well is take turns looting. A couple people loot and a person will kind of have eyes while the other two loot and vice versa. So it's very key to have a good team like that. One scanning the field and a couple looting. And then if you're looting, you want to call out the loot to make sure, if somebody needs any of the goods or not. When you are scanning the field, you don't want to tunnel vision in the forward direction. You always want to look 360 every single direction because you never know who could be behind you. In a 360 way where you're always checking your whole surroundings because you never know where people are hiding and you never expect people to be behind you or a solo guy to be behind you. So you want to expect the worst from all of your enemies. Now see here, these guys never shot at us, but we were able to spot just the tip of their domes peeking at us. So you do your best to make sure your team is kind of aware of them as well. You get into a better position. You don't want to stop and freeze in the open where you could become an easy target and get knocked, which could cost you for your team. So you make sure you call them out, lock into a spot, try to get a clean knock, clean headshot, push in from there. But you don't want to push in too hard because squads, especially with a 3-man squad, you don't have the real advantage. So you want to make sure you kind of be aware of your surroundings, check everywhere, kind of be smart about it, flank in, maneuver your way where you're not rushing straight in like a maniac and get knocked and cost your team a W. You want to do your best to kind of have the advantage, get the knocks, and trust your teammates to get the trades and finish the job if you do get knocked, which is what we did there. You want to be aware of how many knocks you may have, so that way you can kind of let your team know to get you or to get your other teammates first. That way everyone kind of has an idea about it. As you could see here, we were not too aware about it, but we were lucky enough to catch on there at the end. Sayote was able to get me, save the day. You want to make sure you're paying attention to circle and see if you have enough time to get fully boosted. That way you have a little speed under your belt and head in from there. But you always want to be prepared that people heard shots and they're going to gatekeep you because how small the circle is and how many people are still alive. You want to be prepared for people just holding you out or holding a tight position to get shots on you as you run into the zone. Luckily here, the guy wanted to surprise us with a molly, try to catch us off guard. He overthrew it. He panicked because we rushed in so quickly trying to get to zone. So his mistake there. He should have just shot us as we were running in. But as you know, you want to maneuver side to side as you run into the zone. You don't want to run in a straight line and become an easy shot or an easy knock because that could cost you for your team. There, we got unlucky. One of our teammates got taken out, but we're still up. Late game, you don't want to focus too much on rezzing your teammates near end game. But if you do have the chance to go for the res, you want to make sure you throw some smokes, go for the res, and have the other person cover for you. Now, as we get closer to the finish line, we know we have a ton of throwables. We want to let loose, rough people up, shake them up a little bit, keep them shook, and make sure we're not holding a ton of throwables at the end of the game. Now here we're in the zone, and we're just keeping our eye out on what we have to deal with here. We know that there's 2 people up, but we don't know if they're a team of 2 or if it's 2 solos. So we kind of hold our position, wait for zone to start closing, peek left, peek right. Earlier you saw us toss a lot of throwables, keep them from pushing too much or looking around like we are. And we also don't want to stand too close to each other near end game, have one frag take us out. So we try to be close to each other, but not close enough where a frag could take us both out. And we're always scanning the field, different directions. And you want to do your best to not get too overly aggressive, to be the MVP or hero of the match, because you could still cause your team. You want to be patient, scout, and know that teamwork makes the dream work. As the game gets closer to the finish line, Sayote and I are communicating what we want to do. If we want to move up, we make sure we move up together, but not too close to each other, like I said before. Keep our eye out in different directions, but in multiple directions, in case we see any slight movement. As you see, Sayote was taking some shots at the man, so all I had to do was listen to the other man's shots and find him, take him out. Now it's 2v1. We're always aware, hoping neither of us gets knocked, so that way it stays a 2v1 and we have a stronger chance at winning. We're playing it safe, but away from each other all at the same time, keeping our eyes out, seeing where this man could be. Sayote spots him. He says he's laying down. Communication wasn't solid, but the only way he could actually spot him, it makes sense if he sees him on the top of the maze, because there would be no other way he would be laying down somewhere else where I haven't already spotted him. So it just makes sense for me to figure out where he could be laying down. And then from there, we get the winner chicken dinner. Appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to give it a like, sub to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the bell for a little ring-a-ding-ding to get notified when the next video of mine goes live. Catch you on the next one. Peace.